I'm making this video because I know so many of you, including myself, have depressing times. We feel depressed. Some stuff happens, or maybe it's just a chemical imbalance in our own brain that we just can't help but feel depressed. There's a quote. It goes something like, it has to deal with happiness. It goes like, "Don't let anything make you happy, because then that means that it can be taken away from you. Find a way to be happy all the time. Find a way to make yourself happy, Same way with depression, with anger, anything, any kind of emotion that you want to, tackle and get control of. You don't let something that's outside of you dictate whether or not you're depressed. Dictate, like, well, when I'm with this person, I don't really feel depressed anymore. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing to have that kind of person, that thing that you do, that gets you out of that funk. But it's kind of like, it's like drugs. I mean, you smoke weed and you're high for a couple hours, and then you come down and everything comes back to you. Reality sets back in. You can't be high 24/7. I mean, you can, but that's not fixing your problems. That's just delaying the inevitable. Eventually, you are going to get immune to it. And it's like with relationships, there's always a honeymoon phase in the beginning of relationships. For a couple months, everything's great. Everything, you're just like, damn, like, how can't people make relationships work? Then you get into it and you're like, okay, I see now, you start to get to know the real person. Problems occur, it's just inevitable. It's with life. But with depression, it's a very serious topic. You can't let one thing dictate, your happiness. You can't let one thing get you out of your depression. I understand some things feel good and some things, but you can't rely on that. It's not a reliable thing, it's going to eventually go away. So what I did, I was depressed, and what I did is I just decided, hey, I don't want to do this, I don't like feeling like this. And it was because I had so many people around me telling me that I'm not good enough, that that they don't even want me here. Like, they're like, hey, you suck, you're annoying, you're boring, whatever, you get out of here, no one wants you here. I heard people tell me no one wants me to be around so many times that it fucking got to me. Eventually I was like, well, no one does want me here, and I was really depressed. And then I finally decided, I was like, I don't like this, I'm gonna figure out what's going on. So I watched a lot of videos, I still watch videos to this day, just constant, hammering in positivity into my head. Whenever I'm down and depressed, I've talked about this before, I can't stay down for very long. I've trained my mind to get me out of these funks. Like in a breakup, when I break up with someone, I'll be sad for, a little bit, and then it's like, okay, we start to recover. I think my recovery process mentally is a lot quicker than the vast majority of people, because I've trained myself to be able to get over things, trained myself to look on the bright side of things, Okay, well, this relationship ended, but what does that mean? What is the good that comes from this? Now I know the kind of person that I don't want. Now I've learned who I need to be in a relationship. Now I know, the kind of dedication I need to have. Whatever it is, finding the positivity in these kind of traumatic situations. And it can be hard, but so back to my point of, you can't let one thing get you out of your depression. I understand there's pills and stuff out there, and that's good. I mean, if they help you, good. But you're not going to be able to stay on antidepressants for, the entire time of your life. Like, eventually, you're going to hit a high enough dosage, and then it's not going to be working anymore. And they're really, what, in my opinion, and, you don't have to agree with me, but my opinion with antidepressants is that they're there to get your mind to work the way it's supposed to work, so then that you can figure out how it's supposed to work, so then when you are off of them, then you can replicate that, basically. So just a little easy thing, finding something that you do relatively often throughout the day, doing something like every time that you take a drink of water or something, in your head, you just think, what am I thinking about right now? Am I thinking a bad thought? If you're thinking, you take a drink of water and then you start to think, you're like, well, I was just thinking about how bad I am at this sport, or I was just thinking about how bad I am at this job. You switch that mindset. What are you good at? You know, who loves you? What are you thankful for? What's good in your life? You find something throughout the day that can help shift that mindset. That's something that I did, and it's something that I do periodically now. It's like when I get really upset, I take a deep breath and I'm like, why am I actually upset here? Because the reality is, guys, life is too short. It's too short to be down and depressed and angry and sad and all these things. It's just, you know, life's amazing, and life's all about fun and love and great things, and you have to find a way to appreciate that. And it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard. I've dealt with it myself. I mean, I'm here with you. But I decided I didn't want to be like that anymore. I didn't want to be that kind of person. And so then I started to accept who I am. You know, for a long time, I really hated the kind of person I was, because I'm really nerdy and weird and geeky. And, you know, like, there's a lot of, like, for example, I love Lord of the Rings. I love talking about Lord of the Rings. It's kind of dorky. I love playing video games, you know? And I wouldn't talk about it. I wouldn't tell anyone about it. I would just kind of push it down and be like, you know, this isn't who you are. You know, I'd always want to be in the cool crowd. I want to be a jock. But that's not who I am. And trying to be someone I was not was making me actually more depressed than being who I actually was. And I love who I am now. You know, I'm surrounded by a friend group that's full of weird people. You know, they're just a bunch of goobers, but I love it. You know, I love being around those kind of people. I found out who I am. So finding out who you are and learning to appreciate it, because there's only one of you. There will only be one of you. And being down and depressed about who you are is not the right way to handle it, you know? Find a way to appreciate what you do. There's people that love you. There's someone out there for everyone. You know, everyone's going to find their soulmate, and someone's going to learn to love and appreciate who you are. You just have to find them, you know? It's going to come in due time, you know? But just try to find some happiness in the world, you know? Always, like, I don't watch the news. Like, when big tragedies happen, like shootings or like the bombing in Syria and stuff, I don't even know. I have no idea what's going on, because there's so much negativity. All they cover is negativity. I don't need that in my life. I don't need it. I don't read the newspaper. I don't anything. The only time I find out about these things is when people are freaking out about it. And it's sad. The world is sad. It's a dark place, but there's so much light in it too. You just have to look for it. It's not hidden. It's, you know, someone, say you're driving, you know, and someone lets you in. Someone lets you switch lanes when, you know, you probably shouldn't have been let in. You can be thankful for that. It's just little things. Finding something to be thankful about. Be thankful for your parents. Thankful for your family. Thankful for, you know, I have a car, or I have a job. You know, even if you don't like your job, the fact that you have a job, you can make money. It's something to be thankful for. Trying to switch your mindset. You have to force yourself to do it. It's not going to feel natural. You're not going to want to do it. But when you come out of it, you're going to be so much happier. I promise, guys. Look at me. I'm so much happier now. I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with the work I put in to become who I am and where I am. So please, guys, learn to love yourself. It's very important. Don't look for something on the outside. Don't look for a drug. Don't look for a person. I mean, a person can be nice. It can be nice to have someone to go to. But you have to be able to go to yourself as well. And you're going to be your number one supporter. And that's very important. So that's basically it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys found some value in this video. If you did, leave a like, you know, comment, whatever. You know, we can start a discussion. If you guys got any questions, whatever. I know I say it a lot. No one really leaves comments. But that's okay. That's okay. I know eventually one of you will. And we can have a discussion. I can make a video on it, whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. Thank you for your support. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Logic. I got a date with destiny. My heart says yeah, but can't convince the rest of me. I tried so hard to make it with no rest.